Now, we do need to fire, I'm not going to call him doctor. We need to fire Fauci.
He's still a doctor.
We need to fire
Allegedly.
Tone.
But not for the reason that this is in the media right now. So I don't understand why people are saying that this broke over the weekend. Do you have that clip there, Tokunawan? I covered this on October 6th. This is not new information, but now it's been the number one trend for 2 days.
Yeah.
So here's a clip from me on October 6th discussing Fauci and his organization's torture of puppies. Oh, by the way, did you see this? Did you see that Fauci and the NIH killed like 9 beagles?
What?
Why?
No.
Beagles,
Studying
though.
for a virus.
What?
I'd asked them to pull it up, but apparently some people there are asleep in the control room.
I like little
no, and then,
beagles.
by the way, it's entirely unnecessary, and they were condemned for it. They spent like a lot of money conducting studies, I think infecting them with the virus, and then dissecting them.
What is wrong with
Again,
you?
this is not something I planned on discussing today, but I'm just saying this happened under Fauci's watch. He's evil.
Beagles, come on.
I mean, just pick something
rats.
weird looking if you're going to pick a dog. One of those hairless Chinese crested. Yeah, okay. That seems like it's a little bit hyper.
Oh my god. They were puppy
They killed
beagles?
the puppies.
Yeah.
Almost seems made up.
Yeah. So I don't know why. So I was very confused. And by the way, just to be clear, everyone here was gaslighting me, telling me that I did not discuss that.
Hold on. So here's the difference. There were 2 stories, 2 sets of beagles. Right? 2 sets of
There's
beagles.
4?
Hold on.
That's my point. You should be thanking me. That's twice the beagle torture.
It really
right?
is.
He's the kind of guy who doesn't understand that what he says comes across as an evil prick. He's like, hey guys, I have a great idea. We'll tell the public that I locked them in cages with wasps.
Right.
Like Fauci, I don't think he knows how that's going
worse.
on. No. It gets better. I would make them fight to the death and electrocute the losers.
And also, that's not true. One person in this office believed in you. And that was Angela.
Yeah,
That's true.
Angela,
True.
she's the one who pulled
Thank
that up.
you, Angela.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
So listen, here's the reason that there was some confusion. The story that just broke was about them locking dogs' heads in cages to be eaten alive by gnats.
To be fair,
flies.
that one beagle that they're referencing was a stand-in for Wicker Man. So yeah.
Oh,
and then he was shot by Alec Baldwin.
Horrible.
Not the bees.
It wasn't loaded. I swear.
won't bring back a fucking honey.
Poor little Milo.
No, so to be fair though, but this has been going on for
It
a
is a
while.
beagle story with Fauci,
And I
though.
did cover Fauci. I stand corrected. I
Beaglegate.
covered that Fauci, his organizations and grants were torturing beagles.
It's true. We do need.
Oh, screw you. No, absolutely not. That's not a fact check.
No.
I never said he was locking them in cages.
No. We thought you were referencing the one that broke 2 days ago. That's why.
You want to
people were
lawyer
talking
me
about
that
it again.
much? Hey, look, you guys comment below. Do you or do you not think the key information at that point of the story was that the organizations, the NIH and other organizations that received grants, were torturing beagles and not the apparatus in which they were locked?
Well, I thought it made sense.
All right.
Were you wildly incorrect? That's the other answer.
Here's something else, though, too. It was completely medically unnecessary, like I talked about.
Yeah.
That not only they locked their heads in cages with flies.
Gosh.
They also severed the dog's vocal cords just because they were annoying them.
Yep.
Yes, they bark too loudly when we hurt them.
So first off, they don't typically use dogs. For example, if you look at a lot of there's in vitro versus in vivo studies, and then often it kind of moves on to rats before it goes into humans, because when you look at the farm, I don't know if which one is correct here, the pharmacodynamics or the pharmacogenetics, which one applies more, but rats are more similar to humans than dogs in how they would react to certain drugs. In other words, they use it as a pretty good phase to see if there's a danger before going into human studies. There really is no medical reason to use dogs, to be clear. And they didn't just go out and pick, which would be bad enough. They didn't just go out and like pick dogs around the street. They bred the dogs for these experiments and then euthanized them. And the reason they did that was because they know that beagles are very people-pleasing dogs, and so they knew that these were dogs that would be docile, that wouldn't attack them, and they're easier to experiment on. So it's even more sinister when you understand they wanted dogs that were as friendly as humanly possible so that they could torture and kill them. The current left, and this is the problem with the scientific establishment too, and you see it right now with how dogmatic it is, they are atheists who have replaced God with themselves. The left Absolutely. You cannot say, oh, both sides. There's only one side that tries to play God. And this is very different from where you're talking about hunting, you're talking about animals for food. And I get factory farms, we've talked about that. I don't like that animals are treated cruelly. I understand all the arguments out there for animal rights activists. It is not ill-founded. However, there's nothing wrong with eating animals. A food chain is not the same as conducting entirely medically unnecessary experiments on dogs that you bred specifically to be docile and friendly. What do they want to do? It would be very different if they said, look, dogs are similar to humans, and at some point, if it's a cancer cure, which is not the case if you look at these studies, we need to study it on dogs. We're going to take dogs that are on their way out, see how it works, or then let them be provided for adoption. No, they play God and say, we are going to create the dogs from scratch because we want to own them, control them. We want to be in charge of their lives. They have access to adult stem cell research. You know, you're talking about this is where it's actually shown the most amount of promise. I have nothing against it. I've actually gotten a portion of a stem cell injection here in one of my, I don't know, I'm going to put my elbow, my knee.
It's a joint. They're all the same.
Hold on. Eyes, ears, mouth, and head and shoulders. Yeah, knee.
Okay.
That's like my ABCs. No, but they say embryonic stem cell research is what they need. Let's look at eugenics. Well, they say, well, let's set them up in black neighborhoods. You know what? People should have we have the right to take life. We have the right to give life. We have the right to take life. And we are going to play God the entire way, not to mention the social engineering. Sure, you won't be able to afford anything. You won't own anything. You'll rent and lease your entire life and like it, but we'll give you the bare necessities, which means we'll give you control. Total lockdown? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't leave the house after 9 o'clock? Well, you make the rules. You give us the stuff. Your house, your rules. Mm-hmm. That's the goal of the left. They play God with actual lives, and they want to play God with how you run your life. And then they say, hey, conservatives, get out of our bedroom. Well, what does that really mean? It means it means that a guy wants to have sex with a guy. That's what it means. It means that a guy wants to have sex with a guy, and somewhere some conservative did this.
That's a good thing.
That's all. So it was reported, by the way, that Fauci, the NIH under Fauci, spent $400,000 to infect beagles with flies that carry parasites harmful to humans. There's some more. The dogs were also infected with pneumonia, anthrax, subjected to induced heart attacks.
Oh, geez.
They injected chimps with 250 times the amount of AIDS virus needed to cause an infection.
Which came from chimps.
Unnecessary.
Yep.
Originally?
No, I don't know.
It came
I'm
from Fauci. What are you talking about?
It came from Fauci.
AIDS.
More AIDS.
I'm the super spreader. Also, the NIH under him supported research using 18 to 20 week aborted fetus scalps grafted onto lab rats. They're creating animal-human hybrids.
Oh, geez.
They're creating humanoids in running lab experiments. Oh, Alex.
Right.
Listen to me. It's going to be too late. I'm not crazy. They're putting fetus scalps on lab rats.
I'm kind of retarded.
That's what people thought.
This is freaking me out a
He's
little bit.
so much more right. Also, but this is in the list in the article. Then they say also they scared monkeys with fake snakes.
What?
It's like, yeah, you know what? The fact that you infect them with 250 times the AIDS virus needed to kill someone, I'm not so worried about, Medea's boo. Hey, look, they don't get. Look, I got a stick right here. Here, look, we got Joe Lewis. Look, let's see.
Joe Lewis, let's see what happens here.
That's it. He doesn't scare.
Okay.
He doesn't care. President Donald Trump made animal abuse a federal crime.
Yes.
I don't know if this qualifies. So,
Not if you are the government, though.
No, that's true.
now this has been going on for a long time. You saw me covering it October 6th, and now there's just new details. Why are they covering it now? I think that's an important question. Now, look, like I said, take the wins where you can get them. It's really easy to get people on board once they start hurting puppies. That's actually what happened. Remember, I think it was with Iraq. They had videos of people being executed. You're like, and then Dennis Miller talked about this, and then they had one where they executed a puppy. You're like, oh,
Things are getting
It's
serious.
on now.
Code Pink dropped their signs and took up their rifles. So maybe this is trending everywhere right now because big tech wants us to be distracted from the fact that the NIH just admitted to conducting gain-of-function research.
Yep.
Well,
To a
you said
Congress-
he
They
did.
admitted to it. That was trending for like 4 hours. It was trending for less time than Lizzo's ass.
Right.
Well, there's a lot to cover.
There is.
Deep